Hi, Robin. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. All righty. I hope you had a good weekend and
I
week's off
did.
to a good start. All right. So, any reflections on what you would like to focus on today?
No general kick the tires.
Sure.
Yeah, nothing in particular.
Okay. Great. Absolutely. All right. Then we'll go ahead and just kind of dive in and do some of the things that I've been thinking about working on with you. But if you do think of anything, just let me know, because I can always adjust as we go. Alrighty, so I thought we might start working with some of those front fast tongue movements along with some R's, W's, and V's. So to begin, let's go ahead and try some short phrases. So let's try, before we dive right into those, let's try just making those individual sounds. La, 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 la. That L.
La, 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 la.
Good. And then the R. Ra, ra, ra.
Ra, ra, ra.
Excellent. And then the W. Wa, wa, wa.
Wa, wa, wa.
Excellent. And the V. V, v, v.
Va, va, va.
Good. Excellent. The individual sounds are very clear. Wonderful. All right. So let's try lovely red velvet.
Lovely red violet.
Okay. Try saying velvet.
Velvet,
Good. And then violet.
violet.
Velvet,
Velvet,
violet.
violet.
Yes. Very good. All right. So then let's try lovely velvet.
Lovely velvet.
Lovely violet.
Lovely violet.
Good. And then faster. Lovely velvet, lovely violet.
Lovely velvet, lovely violet. Lovely
Yes.
velvet, lovely violet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then lovely red velvet.
Lovely red violet.
And then lovely purple velvet.
Lovely purple velvet.
Good. Nice. Very good. All right. So then let's try another short phrase. Rolling waves.
Rolling waves.
Rolling waves.
Rolling waves.
Good. Then faster. Rolling waves.
Rolling waves.
Rolling waves.
Rolling waves.
Good. And then let's extend that. Rolling waves on the lake.
Rolling waves on a lake.
Good. Then let's do the to work on that TH. Rolling waves on the lake.
Rolling waves on the lake.
Very good. Yes. Good. And then faster. Rolling waves on the lake.
Rolling waves on the lake.
Good. Very good. And then let's think about what words we want to stress. Rolling waves on the lake.
Rolling waves on a lake.
Good. And then let's try a little bit faster. Rolling waves on the lake.
Rolling waves on the lake.
And even faster. Rolling waves on the lake.
Rolling waves on the lake.
Very good. Then let's try another phrase. Let's try woven lantern.
Woven lantern.
Woven lantern.
Woven lantern.
Very nice. Then let's try woven lantern ribbon.
Rolling lantern ribbon.
Okay, let's try rolling ribbon.
Rolling ribbon.
Rolling red ribbon.
Rolling red ribbon.
Very good. Then let's try woven red lantern.
Woven red lantern.
Mm-hmm. Okay, then let's try woven lantern ribbon again.
Woven lantern ribbon.
Good. And then faster, woven lantern ribbon.
Woven lantern ribbon.
And faster, woven lantern ribbon.
Woven lantern ribbon.
And even faster, woven lantern ribbon.
Woven lantern ribbon.
Very good.
Woven,
Try that one more time.
woven lantern ribbon. Woven
Good.
lantern ribbon.
Good. Let's say ribbit,
Ribbit,
ribbon.
ribbon.
Then let's
Ribbit,
try ribbing.
ribbing.
So ribbit, ribbon, ribbing.
Ribbit, ribbon, ribbing.
Good. Yes. Woven lantern ribbon.
Woven lantern ribbon.
Better. Yes. Very good. All right. Let's try river valley.
River valley.
Good. Again, river valley.
River valley.
Good. Let's try lavender river.
Lavender river.
Haha, that's a little trickier.
Yeah.
Lavender river.
Lavender river.
Mm-hmm. Lavender river.
Lavender river.
Good. Let's try lavender river valley.
Lavender river valley.
Good. Again, lavender river valley.
Lavender river valley.
Excellent. Good. And faster. Lavender river valley.
Lavender river valley. Lavender
Good.
river valley. Lavender river valley.
Try to put a little gap, a tiny space between lavender and river.
Lavender river valley.
Yes. Lavender river valley.
Lavender river valley.
Good. River, river.
River, river.
Try, let's do reward.
Reward,
hmm River, reward.
river, reward.
River, reward.
River, reward. River, reward.
Reward.
River, oh, river, reward.
Good. Try
River,
the Red
reward.
River runs regularly.
The Red River runs regularly.
Good. And then let's try Rachel won the award.
Rachel won the award.
Robert rewarded her diligence.
Robert rewarded her diligence.
Okay, good. Let's go ahead and move on to our next set of words. Wild roses.
Wild roses.
Wild roses and violets.
Wild roses and violets.
Wild roses and violets.
Wild roses and violets.
Good. Okay, then let's try this one. Lily wrote a lovely review.
Lily wrote a lovely review.
Good. Faster. Lily wrote a lovely review.
Lily wrote a lovely review.
And faster. Lily wrote a lovely review.
Lily wrote a lovely review.
That's all right. Try again.
Lily wrote a lovely review.
Good. And you'll find, okay, that's the fastest I can take this phrase at this point in time. Lily wrote a lovely review.
Lily wrote a lovely review.
Good. Try just that. Lily wrote. Lily wrote.
Lily wrote. Lily wrote.
Good. Now try just lovely review. Lovely review.
Lovely review. Lovely review.
Lily wrote a lovely review.
Lily wrote a lovely review.
Excellent. Much better. Good. All right. Let's try lavender lattes.
Lavender lattes.
Lavender lattes.
Lavender lattes.
Good. Then let's try vanilla lavender lattes.
Vanilla lavender lattes.
Good. Now try Walter loves vanilla.
Walter loves vanilla.
Walter loves vanilla lavender lattes.
Walter loves vanilla lavender lattes.
Good. Walter loves vanilla lavender lattes.
Walter loves vanilla lavender lattes.
Excellent. Faster. Walter loves vanilla lavender lattes.
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 Ooh, better. Faster. Walter loves vanilla lavender lattes.
Walter loves vanilla lavender lattes.
All right, that's getting better and faster. Excellent. Let's try vast valley.
Vast valley.
Through the vast valley.
Through the vast valley.
Rivers wind through the vast valley.
Rivers wind through the vast lavender valley.
Good. Faster. Rivers wind through the vast valley.
Rivers wind through the vast valley.
Again,
Rivers wind through the vast valley.
try just that. Rivers wind through. Rivers wind through.
Wind through. Rivers wind through. Rivers wind through.
Good.
Rivers wind through.
Can we try welcoming rivers wind?
Welcoming rivers wind through.
Mm-hmm. Welcoming rivers wind through the vast valley.
Welcoming rivers wind through the vast valley.
All right, good. That was better. Let's try Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Can we try just that? Laura wrapped. Laura wrapped.
Laura wrapped. Laura wrapped. Laura wrapped.
Good. Can we try Lorelei?
Lorelei.
Mm-hmm. Laura and Lorelei.
Laura and Laura Lorelei.
Lorelei. Mm-hmm. Let's try Laura picked Lorelei on the mountainside.
Laura picked Lorelei on the mountainside. Laura picked Lorelei on the mountainside. Laura picked Lorelei on the mountainside. Laura picked Lorelei on the mountainside. Laura picked Lorelei on the mountainside.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Now let's try the original phrase again. Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Good. Faster. Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon. Laura. Laura.
Mm-hmm.
Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
That's
Laura
it.
the velvet ribbon.
Good. Can we try with a little more inflection? Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Nice. Very good. Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Good. Let's try faster. Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Again, Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Laura wrapped the velvet ribbon.
Yes, very good. Much better. Okay, let's try another phrase. Let's do rowing the wooden boat.
Rowing the wooden boat.
Good. Again, rowing the wooden boat.
Rowing the wooden boat.
Good. Now try while rowing the wooden boat.
While rowing the wooden boat.
Excellent. Yes. While rowing the wooden boat.
While rowing the wooden boat.
Nice. Let's try Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Good. Again, Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Good. Faster. Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Yes. A little more inflection. Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Good. And faster. Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Again, Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Victor waved while rowing the wooden boat.
Yes, much better. Excellent. Very good. Let's go ahead and try another phrase now. So let's do rolling river.
Rolling river.
Rolling river.
Rolling river.
Good. Walked by the rolling river.
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 Good. Yes. Okay, now let's try Lily and Victor walked by the rolling river.
Lily and Victor walked by the rolling river.
Good. Lily and Victor walked by the rolling river.
Lily and Victor walked by the rolling river.
Faster. Lily and
Li-
Victor walked by the rolling river.
Lily and Victor walked by the rolling river.
Excellent. Again, Lily and Victor walked by the rolling river.
Lily and Victor walked by the rolling river.
Good. Try just that. Rolling river. Rolling river.
Rolling river. Rolling river. Rolling
Yes.
river.
Excellent. Beautiful. Okay, let's try another one. Let's say Rachel wove a velvet ribbon.
Rachel wove a velvet ribbon.
Good. Try just that part again. Rachel wove a velvet ribbon.
Rachel wove a velvet ribbon
Into her long hair.
into her long hair.
Good.
Rachel wove a velvet ribbon into her long hair.
Good. Faster.
Rachel wove a velvet ribbon into her long hair.
Good. Again.
Rachel wove a velvet ribbon into her long hair.
Good. Make sure that Rachel wove, the L and the W are very clear. Try that again.
Rachel wove. Rachel wove.
Good. Do it 5 times
Rachel
fast.
wove. Rachel wove. Rachel wove. Rachel wove. Rachel wove. Rachel wove.
Yes.
Rachel wove a velvet ribbon into her long hair.
Ooh, much better. Excellent. Good. Let's try Walter's violin vibrated wildly
Walter's violin vibrated wildly
in the wooden lodge.
in the wooden lodge.
Good. Walter's violin vibrated wildly
Walter's violin vibrated wildly
in the wooden lodge.
in the wooden lodge.
Good. Let's
Walter's violin vibrated wildly in the
wooden
wooden
lodge.
lodge.
Good. Again.
Walter's violin vibrated wildly in the wooden lodge.
Good. Again.
Walter's violin vibrated wildly in the wooden lodge.
Great. Let's try some more inflection and personality. Walter's violin vibrated wildly in the wooden lodge.
Walter's violin vibrated wildly in the wooden lodge. Jesus. Walter's violin vibrated wildly in the wooden lodge. Walter's violin vibrated wildly in the wooden lodge. Walter's violin vibrated wildly in the wooden lodge.
Good. Let's do it faster. So, see how fast you can go. Walter's violin vibrated wildly in the wooden lodge.
Walter's violin vibrated wildly in the wooden lodge.
Better. Excellent. That's a tricky one, isn't it? It's really a workout for the front of your tongue and the lip shapes.
I feel like I gotta lose like a half a pound on my tongue.
That it just feels kind of like
So
like a big
heavy and
blob.
big.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right. And that quick coordination is tricky with
right.
it. Yeah. So I think I'm hearing with the R's and the W's and the L's, what I'm hearing is sometimes it's tricky to navigate from a quick tongue movement to the lip shape or from the lip shape to the quick tongue movement. Or even when you
Very
have,
astute. That is exactly what's going on.
right, even sometimes when we have maybe a rounded lip shape and then we have to take a rest, a moment of silence before going back to the rounded lip shape, sometimes that coordination is also tricky where it's rounded and then we have to pause for a moment and release that and then we round it again. But you could
Yeah.
keep the rounded lip shape. So for instance, if we have wonder when. The R, you can stay rounded. Wonder when. Wonder
Yup.
when. You can
Wonder
stay
when.
rounded. And even with those L's,
Wonder.
mm, well, won't Willie come? Well, won't Willie? La
Well,
la la la
won't
la
will.
la la la. I could
Well,
keep my lips more
Willie come.
rounded. Well, won't
Won't
Lily
Willie
come?
come.
Right? I can keep these corners in a bit more. And we've talked about kind of a little pinch in those corners. So
Yeah, the
just
pinch
staying
really helps,
generally
but
more
it's
round.
just, yeah, the pinch definitely helps. It's just
Good.
remembering to keep it.
Right. And I think that it's the muscles get a little bit tired too, right? So if we tried wonderful world, I can generally stay pretty rounded the whole time. Try that.
Wonderful world.
hmm We welcome
Wonderful
the
world.
wonderful world.
We welcome the wonderful world.
hmm Now that's a little bit trickier with we welcome because those vowels want to be more wide and spread. So we have to combat that. But if you think of how people talk in England, they stay more rounded all the time. We welcome the wonderful world. They stay more rounded and tall, even when they do E and eh. But in America, we tend to be very wide and smiley with our shapes. We welcome the wonderful world. And then it's harder because you have to be wide and then rounded and wide and rounded. but you could stay a little bit more rounded regularly if you think of kind of pinching the corners there and staying a little more rounded, a little less smiley with your shapes. And that's going to make those transitions faster. We welcome the wonderful world.
We welcome the wonderful world.
Do you feel the difference there?
For sure.
And you can move faster through it, right?
We welcome the wonderful world. Yes.
I think it's perfectly acceptable also to smile as you greet someone. Hello, it's great to see you. And then when you get into other conversation, to have a more serious face and not smile while you're doing those quicker, trickier phrases. For instance, let's say you were giving a presentation. When you first walked up in front of everyone, you could smile and say, "Hello, I'm Robin. I'm so happy to be here today. I'm excited to share XYZ with you." And then when you get to more complex parts of the speech, you can then keep that more rounded shape and you'll be able to speak faster and get through those rounded parts more quickly. And you can do the L's even with the rounded shape. L, 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 l. I just pinch the corners, pull those in, have the more rounded shape, and do the tongue flicks. Try that. L, 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 l.
L, 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 l.
Good. Try the regular, more wide shape. Leave me.
Leave me.
Let me
Leave.
go.
Let me go.
So you can feel leave and let. It wants to be wider, but we can also try those same phrases, pulling those corners in. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
Let me go.
Let me go.
Right. And then we have that more round shape already there. So when I go to, we won't be coming, it's
We
already more rounded.
be coming. We won't be coming. We won't be coming.
Do you feel the difference there?
Yep.
Great. Okay, so I want you to work on that this week, have an awareness of that, of just generally trying to keep the corners in a little bit more, that little pinch there, and feeling the muscles pulling those corners in, and think of just generally being more rounded all the time. And it actually will give you a little bit more of an elegant, more sophisticated sound with the rounded shape.
Hmm.
And you might be able to flow a little bit more smoothly. I think it's going to help with moving faster through the phrases. You've mentioned often that you want to be able to speak faster. But when we're doing these big, chewy movements, which is very normal in American English, hello, how are you today? It's great to see you. And I'm exaggerating at this moment, but that is generally how we talk with big, chewy movements, moving our jaw and our tongue and our lips all simultaneously. And it actually, in some cultures, is considered impolite to talk like that because they like to minimize the lip movement. They consider lots of lip movement more impolite. So if you round, you actually don't need quite as much lip movement. So for those cultures, you would fit in better, right? But in America, we
Understood.
tend to have these big, chewy movements, but that makes it much more difficult to speak fast.
Understood.
So that's going to be the
Uh,
key thing to focus on this week.
uh, so what is the easiest for the recordings? Is it to put it into a Google Drive? Is that the easiest for you?
I could do that.
In that case, do you want to just create a folder with my name on it and share it
Sure.
with me? And that way, when I'm driving, it should be easy to access.
Absolutely. That works great.
All right. Thank
Yeah,
you
let's
so
do that.
much.
All
All
right,
right.
sounds good. Yeah,
See
I
you
love that
Thursday.
idea because then as you're commuting or driving, you can just practice in the car and it's just built into your day.
Exactly.
That's a
Thank
great
you.
idea. Awesome. All right, well, I will plan to see you Thursday. Bye,
All right.
Robin. Great
Perfect.
work
Bye.
today.
Thank you.